is it just me, or does it seem like WWE Smackdown is becoming, on USA, Raw down? It's crazy. Like, it's maybe it was just this episode that really came off like it was a Raw, but I damn sure didn't get that same sense when it was on Sci-Fi. Hello, boys and girls. You're now watching and listening. You're watching on YouTube and listening if you're on Stitcher. I mean, Stitcher's fucking up. They've been offline for like 2 days. But if you are, kudos. Stitcher, iTunes, SoundCloud, and Podbean, and watching on YouTube, Peter Talks Smackdown. And this is episode 50. We made it to motherfucking 50. And again, last week I recorded a night 49. I think. Yeah, I think this is 50. Well, anyway, I'm going to just run with 50 for now. And I uploaded it yesterday. So maybe you've got my thoughts yesterday on what happened last week, and today you find out what I think about this week's SmackDown, this week's Thursday night SmackDown. The arrangements are different, very much like Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling and Peter's Raw Recap this week, because I left my table in El Segundo, basically. I get it back tonight, and we'll go back to business as usual. But I think, just for those watching, I think we're going to face this way now, if you're watching, because before it was the door, now I think we're going to face towards, just going to be like just a solid wall shot. But nevertheless, if you're watching, I appreciate your patience in dealing with this new, this sort of alternate setup until I get my table back. Man. So let's get into this Raw, right? See, I already call it Raw, but let's get into this SmackDown. And it was from Portland, Oregon. Now, one thing about being part of the IWC and following different people either on Facebook, on different wrestling groups, or on Twitter or Instagram, is that, like, it's no way to get away from spoilers. It's no way in hell. I mean, Thursday nights, I'm not really able to watch the show. Friday nights, I could watch the show, but I wrap myself up in other things to catch up with my DJ stuff. And Saturdays, I wake up and I watch, for the most part, I'll watch SmackDown Saturday afternoons and then record them immediately. And I already got the spoiler. Well, not necessarily. There's no way to get away from the spoilers. It's always cool. I wish I would have been able to just watch SmackDown and not seen or quickly seen things that explain some spoilers going into the show. But I found out that, AJ Styles lost to Chris Jericho. And then I found out Bully Ray made his debut. And he spoke about Daniel Bryan. I thought the whole promo what I heard is that he basically cut his whole promo with Daniel Bryan, but thank God that wasn't the case. And as for AJ Styles losing, man, I'll get into it when I get to the match, but I feared it. Like, I spoke about it last week. Like, if you listened to yesterday, like 49, Peter Talks Smackdown, I mentioned, like, it would be a bad idea if they gave AJ Styles a loss, but the way that the WWE does its business nowadays, it's all about even Stevens bookings. That's just it. And I mentioned that. I said that's how they probably go. But I would wish that Miz would got involved, but that wasn't the case. It was a clean victory. But I'll get more into that later. All right. So let's get into this SmackDown, right? And again, that was basically the bulk of the show. It definitely came off like a Raw. Wasn't Jerry the King Lawler's best night on commentary, but Ranallo keeps pounding, man. Like he's doing it, man. He's getting more comfortable, and his voice, and his puns, and the interaction between Saxton and King. King tonight, he sounded tired. He sounds as tired as I do right now, honestly. But I'll give him a pass on this. I'll just give him a pass. But nevertheless, I still enjoyed the commentary. At first, I thought we were going to go like a second straight week of just straight into the match. But that wasn't the case. Y2J comes out, and he basically shoots before the match he has with AJ. I thought, like, wow, they're going to actually start the fucking show with AJ Styles versus Jericho. But he comes out, and he shoots a promo, and he talks about how he respects AJ, but how he doesn't like AJ. And that, like, he starts playing off, is he great? Can he be great? He's not great to me. Is he great yet? He calls himself phenomenal. He hasn't earned the right to call himself phenomenal in the WWE yet. And that Jericho has earned his greatness by, a long time ago, especially in 2008, in this arena of in Portland, Oregon, when he faced Shawn Michaels for the WWE Championship. And it got a pop. It was basically his Portland, Oregon pop. And I'm trying to decipher what they're trying to do here. Because maybe, Y2J definitely, he placates to the crowd, to a certain degree. But this blurred line between him being a heel or being a face is just weird. For him to actually get a, Portland, Oregon pop, going him against a brand new star in AJ Styles, who is the babyface, it kind of fucked me up, and I imagine other people watching the show was like, well, if you're turning right now, why are you bigging up? Why are you going for the cheap pop? Well, anyway, AJ Styles shows up, and you think the match is going to start, but then the Social Outcast shows up, and they're just zany. I feel like the Social Outcast is going to just become like a white version of the New Day. Like, seriously. And the Radical Mongoose and Axl Rose and the House Cats. I don't know. I mean, like, I think that's the whole point, is that they're so fucking random that it goes without fucking mentioning that they're actually a wrestling faction, of just cornballs. And Bo Dallas wasn't there. And I have a question. I'm going to have to do some Wrestle Wiki magic on this, but wasn't Damian Sandow part of this as well when it first started? I'm not sure. I may have to check, but like, it's basically been Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, Adam Rose, and Bo Ryder, Bo Dallas. And I feel like, I totally feel like Sandow was part of that for some reason. What the fuck is Sandow? Can someone please tell me what the fuck Sandow is? And would you want him part of the Social Outcast? Answer that below. So they come out and they, basically interfere in the match. Before the match even starts, Y2J and Chris Jericho team up, throw the Social Outcast out the fucking ring. And here's Chris Jericho's... Is he like a general manager? Like, someone please. It's a lot of things that just aren't tied together when it comes to the WWE. Get it tight, clean it up. But like, we again are witness the booking power of Chris Jericho. Like, he's booking matches left and right, man. It's kind of amazing. But he books the match between the Social Outcasts, the House Cats, or Axl Rose, the that is Curtis Axel and Adam Rose. Yeah, I think it's Adam Rose. Well, anyway, I'm thinking, yeah. And they go into this match, and you're looking at the teamwork of Chris Jericho and AJ Styles, and you go, my God, these guys actually really work well together. If they were ever a tag team, well, fuck. The tag team division, as bleak as it is, would be in kind of, it would be in some trouble. The New Day would have like an actual believable foe in AJ Styles and Chris Jericho. What would you call them? What would, if you're listening, send me a tweet to either PJTW Central or Ellen Japanese, all one word, LINJAPANESE. What would a tag team between AJ Styles and Chris Jericho would be? All right? Why not? Well, anyway, but them tagging up is nothing more than one-upsmanship. So, like, Jericho would tag, he'll tag AJ would tag in, and then he'll do something, and Chris Jericho will tag in, and then he'll do something, and they'll go back and forth, but then you'll see teamwork between the two. Again, they worked so well together, but right there at the end, you get like somewhat of a hot tag from Chris Jericho, who tags himself in. And then he fucking, he runs wild, and then AJ Styles tags himself in for the flying forearm for the pin, and Jared J, A Jericho, I guess what you call him, Y2J, I don't know. They get the win, and but right at the very end, as they're about to, I guess like shake hands and like, hey, good job. Fucking asshole Chris Jericho hits AJ Styles with the code breaker. What a jerk. Oh well. They do the recap on Brock Lesnar versus Ambrose on, blah blah blah. And that we find out that Brock Lesnar will appear on next week's SmackDown, which will be the SmackDown Go Home show for Fastlane. And I'm like, yes! This is how you make this fucking show relevant. Not by trying to make it into another Raw. Keep the wrestling there. Keep the talent that doesn't get the Raw time on SmackDown. Give them their proper time. Get people to watch the show. And then make it relevant. By getting their top stars on there. The first night on USA, they had John Cena, right? Now they're going to have Brock Lesnar. That's fucking big news. The only thing they need to do now is make it a super SmackDown this Tuesday and make it live. We'll do it live. Please. They said I hope they change it. Somehow they get smart and be like, you know what? Hey, USA, we want to actually do a live show on Tuesday, right? Because we got Brock Lesnar coming through. We still can get good ratings for this show, right? But I doubt if it happens. It's just me wishful thinking, I guess. Next up, we get the first appearance from the Dudley Boys since Raw and their turn to the dark side. They turned on the Usos last Monday, and they finally come out and explain themselves of why they decided to basically become jerks. And they don't do that per se. They talk about... how about this? I'm going to back up. Let me give you the landscape. First off, the entire ring, outside of the ring, is covered with tables just stacked on each other. It's somehow like 15 tables out that motherfucker, right? And the Dudley Boys come out, and they're not like all hyped up and baby-faced and juiced. They just walk out. Bubba dressed in his normal... Well, he's basically Bully Ray right now. He's not even in his Dudley Boy shirt. Or in his getup. He's just basically in jeans and a flannel and a wife beater. And Devon, I mean, he's kind of in gear, but they come out and they basically are talking about, you know, there's a lot of things that they're sick of. And there's one thing, you know, like the wrestling world's talking, since they've come back, they've been considered a nostalgia act, right? And they're not a nostalgia act. They're the best. And as long as we be kicking ass and taking names, the only thing y'all want to do is talk about Daniel Bryan. He's like, basically, fuck Daniel Bryan. That's the extent to his shoot on Daniel Bryan, right? It wasn't even like he went into like some long fucking piece what I thought had happened, the way that the IWC was talking about him shooting on Daniel Bryan. But he's like, man, you know what? Fuck Daniel Bryan. You should be talking about us, right? And that's basically what it was. And they keep saying "you people." I thought that was great. You people, and it's Bully Ray, it's Devon, and like it was actually pretty cool. Now I'm on record saying that I don't give a shit about a Dudley Boyz heel turn. I don't care. They haven't been positioned in any way to why we even care about them, even as a tag team. Why would they even be in the WWE? Now, them turning heel, like, who is it benefiting? And are they going to start a feud with the Usos? I mean, I think it would be much better if the Usos were actual tag team champions, and then the Dudleys would go after them. But they're both losers. The Dudleys lost like 3 times clean, damn near clean. Well, you know, no disqualification. Yeah, they won clean. The New Day beat them clean 3 times, right? You know, to retain the championship. We're going to go after our 10th championship. That never happened. They go up against the fucking Wyatts, and the Wyatts wipe their asses with these guys. Like, seriously, you can still see the shit stains on the Dudley Boys, the way that the Wyatts fucking wiped their asses with them, right? They were able to pull out one victory at the ass end of the feud, and then they just gets decimated, right? So now they turn heel, and then they fuck up the Usos. The Usos are losers. You know, the only thing they've won in the past year is a goddamn, well, they've won 2 things, a Slammy and a Grammy. And they haven't been able to knock the fucking New Day off. So you got the New Day, who are they feuding with right now? And then you got the Usos going up against the Dudleys, who have turned heel. And these guys are irrelevant. So when I say I don't care about a heel turn by the Dudleys, it's that they're not. I don't care. I don't fucking care about them. They haven't been anything like they said in their promo. Nothing no more than a fucking nostalgia act, and basically punching bags for the New Day and the Wyatts. That's it. So you know they're sore. They're sore. You know they're drinking fucking sour milk right now. You know they're full of piss and vinegar, right? And they're like, we were here for you, and now fuck y'all. And you see all these tables, you never see these tables again, right? So not only have they turned heel, they're punishing the fans as if they were the reason why they lost by denying them table service, basically. So they called out the hands to take all the tables that were stacked around the ring, got them the fuck out of there, right? And then they got in front of the fucking last tables, like, this is the last time, Devon, get whatever. They fucking fold the chair up, the table up, and they carry the fuck out. So they're full on heel now. And we're getting Bully Ray. This is not Bubba Ray anymore. This is Bully Ray. And in his promo, I was almost thinking he was going to say Bully Ray, right? Listen to Bubba, Bully, you know, like. But anyway, they just feel like people should be chanting more for them rather than their gimmicks. And this, I guess, moving forward, we'll see what happens. I mean, I guess the return of the fucking Los Matadores, and maybe they're gonna get some matches against the Ascension or something. But I until they make it to where I care, I don't care right now. And best of luck to the Dudleys in their heel run. But again, until you prove to me if you're gonna make their return that much more relevant, make it that way, okay? Just make it relevant, and then I'll care. Okay, we got Sasha Banks versus Naomi with new music, and Tamina by her side. We get Becky Lynch on commentary, and this is a pretty fucking amazing match. Tamina, she earns her money. You know, it ends with Tamina actually walking over to Becky Lynch and beating the living shit out of her. But even before that, King is actually going after Becky on commentary, basically about how, you know, why is she teaming up? Why are you teaming up with Sasha? You know, and it was another thing that was mentioned as well. I think it was just like, oh yeah. Becky seemed kind of begrudging to the idea that they're teammates. Now, since they've been trying to do this duo of, you know, pink versus purple versus purple and red, their hair and shit, it seems like Becky has been more agreed to the idea of helping one another out. Now, all of a sudden, she's having second thoughts about teaming up with Sasha Banks. Well, anyway, Tamina comes over, beats the living shit out of her. She doesn't stand a chance. Sasha Banks then comes out the ring, fucks up Tamina with two big fucking boots, like just sick boots, knocking her on her ass on the chair, like knocked her in the chair and then just knocked the fucking chair off. It looked good. And then, you know, Monday, what happens Monday is that when Becky Lynch went to the aid of Sasha on the outside, she got back into the ring and got an L. Not Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks got back in the ring after dropping Tamina on her ass you'd think it was going to be a roll-up, but she reversed that roll-up into a beg statement, and Naomi taps out. So if you look at the two, I guess moving forward, Becky has a loss solo as they are a team, and Sasha has a win as they are a team. So Sasha keeps looking good, regardless. But we'll see what happens Monday and or Thursday next week to see how they treat this storyline moving into Fastlane. Because again, there's Team Bad, I guess Tamina, they're still going by Team Bad, Tamina and Naomi versus Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. Please, oh please, let this be it with Sasha Banks teaming up with someone. Becky Lynch, she's really good on her own. She's doing her thing, but god damn it, be done with like teaming Sasha Banks up with anybody, okay? And then you get an AJ Styles in the back. And this is probably the most we've heard him talk since he's joined the WWE, right? And he agrees to the whole redneck thing, which I think is a total mistake. Since Miz opened his mouth about the redneck rookie, I'm on record to say I just don't agree with that kind of description of AJ Styles, a guy who doesn't look like, he doesn't scream redneck. He doesn't have a wife beater on. He's not like coming out dressed like Bubba Ray, right? He's not. He comes out in his trunks and he does these cool moves. There's nothing that screams redneck about this guy. But nevertheless, this is Vince because he's from Georgia. They mention so much more that he's from fucking Georgia. And he's talking about, yes, I'm proud to be a redneck. I can't. The sooner they get rid of this fucking gimmick, the better. The sooner they can get rid of anything reference to him being a redneck, the better. Did we have to deal with that on fucking ROH? Did we have to deal with that on fucking New Japan? No. He was just a phenomenal one. He just went in, kicked ass, and took names. No, not here. Not in the fucking world of Vince McMahon. He has to let a motherfucker know that he's a goddamn redneck. And now he told him to admit that loving being a redneck. You fucking idiots, man. But anyway, he talks, and he goes, I'm proud of being a redneck, but I'm definitely not a rookie. And again, one of the best promos I've ever heard him do. He's had guidance, I guess. He's reading from something, so maybe that helps. But like we all know, he doesn't have a good relationship with cutting promos. But shit. Bray Wyatt, he gets a vignette, and then they talk about how badass they are. What you gonna do with the Wyatts? What's happening? Is Braun Strowman facing Undertaker? Is he facing Brock Lesnar? What's going on here? What's the haps? And this is the the last time we seen him, they fucking destroyed Ryback, who wasn't even on the show tonight. What you gonna do with the Wyatts, WWE? We're all sitting back waiting. What you gonna do? They can only talk but so much, right? And just decimate motherfuckers. Who's going where, right? Who's going where? I have nothing to say about that. I have nothing else to say beyond we're sitting back waiting till next week, either Monday, Thursday, or even Sunday, the direction that the Wyatt family and or Bray direction they go in towards WrestleMania. We get, again, I've said this once, I said this before. The talk of the town right now is Titus O'Neil getting suspended. 90-day suspension for tugging on Vince McMahon on live, I guess, television or what have you. It's been reduced to 60, blah, blah, blah. This whole thing going back and forth. Black wrestler. Black History Month, regardless of what's happening with Titus, right? And not saying that because it's Black History Month that he has to be like treated like some, different or something. I'm just saying in general, bad timing. That Black History Month and a very petty punishment to one of its more popular black wrestlers is going down right now. That's all. But Black History Month, again, the WWE does a fantastic job of, addressing Black History Month and its legacy with its black wrestlers. I point out another organization that focuses on Black History Month as much as the WWE. Just point them out. I give them a kudos as well, but that's pretty awesome, WWE. We get the Cosmic Wasteland. Oh my God. Now, not too long ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, this is shortly after the Royal Rumble, there was a tweet that was sent my way by Jake from Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling and Faster Than the World. And, what do they call that shit? Whatever. I always forget. Outside Interference. That's what it's called. He's from those. Well, anyway, he sent me a tweet saying, I guess a screenshot of a tweet of Stardust being done. Right? So I'm sitting back. He's been on TV for a while. I'm like, well, I guess they're going to come back as Cody Rhodes. And then lo and behold, not only does Cody Rhodes come out as Stardust, out comes the goddamn Ascension with him. And the Cosmic Wastelands are back together. It's the return of the fucking Cosmic Wasteland, right? The fuck? Like, seriously. Make up your mind what you're going to do with these guys. What the fuck? Right? Make up your mind, Stardust. Are you Stardust or are you Cody? Right? I'm done with the Stardust character, even though I love your music still. I hope he keeps his music when he goes back. But either way, you only smoke at mirrors. I kind of missed that as well. Anyway, I hope they combine the two, right? I hope they combine the two. He's kind of like Star Rhodes, like do like a hybrid of Cody Rhodes without face paint, but he's still kind of in his badass gear. And he's, Cody Dust. something. That would be pretty badass, and then the music would kind of mesh. Okay, so you get Cosmic Wastelands, a 6-man tag versus Neville. Where the fuck has Neville been? And the Lucha Dragons with the returning Sin Cara. Like, hey, Sin Cara's back. There you go. And the Cosmic Wastelands attack. I guess this is... I don't know what the fuck this match was, or even for. I mean, I guess it was like, okay, here's a match to fill in time. It doesn't really do anything. Well, but you got a great match regardless. You got a decent match with an amazing ending, which ended with a Salida del Sol, a fucking swanton off the top rope from Sin Cara, and then you get the red arrow from Neville on top of Connor, and that was pretty fucking amazing. That was like Ringling Brothers type shit, and yeah, that was basically it. I have nothing to say towards this. What are you gonna do with the Lucha Dragons? Neville, I guess he's just gonna always hang in this fucking thing, and at some point have him fight Stardust. Who cares? But what's gonna happen with that U.S. belt? What's happening with Kalisto? What's gonna happen to the Lucha Dragons? Is Kalisto gonna retain against Del Rio? Del Rio was nowhere to be found in this match to poke his nose or show his presence. Like, I still want that fucking belt. I want the gold, sucker. And then like what's gonna happen? One can only tell. We got next week to find out everything. And then we get a Daniel Bryan tribute. We all know the story. There's no need to go into this. I need to wrap this fucking podcast up. But AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho, take 2. And this match, I mean, you can't help yourself, right? This match was something that could have happened on WrestleMania. And I'm not kidding. I'm like, you go down the pay-per-view, go down to pay-per-views, and then you get the style of matches, right? This could easily have been, like, seriously, and this is on a taped show, on the B show. It's a taped show on SmackDown, a B show of the WWE product. A guy who just fucking debuted in the WWE, AJ Styles, he came out in the Royal Rumble, and a veteran that people have been clamoring about, that these two get up and fight. The first time they fought, it wasn't like a strong victory for one. It was AJ Styles. He gets a roll up and 1, 2, 3 victory. Chris Jericho's been, I guess, obsessed with him. And he got his rematch, right? And this match, like, seriously, WrestleMania SummerSlam. Like, this match could have easily been on one of those fucking pay-per-views. Not like Capital Punishment, and not Survivor Series, not TLC, not fucking Payback, not any of those. Like, I could have seen this match. They could have held out on this match, not for Fastlane or for Battleground, like fucking WrestleMania. You take this match that they had on this fucking show and put that shit in Dallas, man, the place is fucking losing it. Losing it. And it's all the waste. All the waste. And as much as I love SmackDown, and like, you need matches like this on this show, right? To make this show relevant. And I'm not even. But they wouldn't even give they wouldn't even give this match to Raw. They gave us a match on Raw that has nothing, and I mean nothing, on this match here. And it was fucking amazing. Front to back. Long match. Fucking, dude. You get the ending was great, but the finish I fucking disagree with. So we get the Styles clash. We get an attempt for the Styles clash, right? That's reversed into the walls of Jericho. Now I got the spoilers that AJ Styles lost, right? But I'm like, how are they gonna go there? I almost thought that he had tapped out. I think I saw a photo of him in the walls of Jericho and knowing that he lost. I was like, man, he tapped out. What the fuck you got AJ Styles tapping out for? So when he was in the walls of Jericho, I was waiting for the tap out. So apparently it was just the photo I saw was only like me going, fuck. He lost. He's in the walls of Jericho. He tapped out. But again, it was just a screenshot. And he escapes the walls of Jericho. First, he goes for the ropes. Jericho rides his ass back to the middle. You're thinking he's about to tap. Why are you going to make this guy tap? But then that gets reversed into the calf killer. Well, the calf buster. Crusher, right? And I'm thinking, oh shit, what's going on here? I mean, I knew, like, how they're going to play this out. Jericho grabs the ropes. But then the match ends with a code breaker, a second code breaker of the night to the face. To the face! 1, 2, 3. Jericho fucking wins. Now, I remember when the Japan show, right? The Beast in the East. And you had Jericho versus Neville, another fantasy match, right? A high work rate match. Jericho wants to just get up with these young bucks, not the young bucks, but these young heads, these young lions, not lion tamer, these these guys, to get these high work rate matches, a la Cena US Challenge, and it's fun. He beat Neville in a house show. People were enraged because Neville, he just started this, that, and the other. And I go, wait a minute, guys. I understand your grief, but this was just a house show. We just a fly on the wall to what's going on in this motherfucker, right? It's not really supposed to mean anything. Now, fast forward, and I feel like these motherfuckers that was mad that Jericho beat Neville. Now, not for the same reasons, right? I just feel like when you get the hottest free agent on the market, right? AJ Styles, you bring him in, you debut him right. You protect him, you don't have him talk, but then you try to you throw the whole redneck thing on top of him. This guy needs to be running through the social outcast. He needs to be beating up Damian Sandow or something. You know, he needs to be doing all these different things, right? Just, you know, maybe some appearances on SmackDown where he's just making his rounds, he's paying his dues. He's just dropping motherfuckers left and right, you know. He doesn't need to be booked so early against a superstar, for one. You know, again, I'm not mad at the Jericho feud. I'm not at all. I think it's very intriguing. But what happens is, when you throw people into the fire like that, without like this grooming of, you know, just taking out just different people, right? You're thrown into a even Stevens booking. Very much like Kevin Owens. When Kevin Owens debuted, he came in, he faced the top dog in John Cena. So he wasn't really given a chance, really, to spread his wings. After, you know, he won the first match on a WWE only pay-per-view, Elimination Chamber. He got that victory. Which I still don't think counts because it was like on that fucking app. But he lost 2 out of 3. He wasn't supposed to lose. Not yet. He wasn't supposed to go up against Cena. Not yet. Let him beat up some motherfuckers. Let him go through Bo Dallas, basically the social outcast. Let him go through fucking Axel, Curtis Axel. Let him go through fucking Adam Rose. Have him go through fucking, you know, just any and everybody that frequents on WWE superstars, right? Zack Ryder. Like, just feed them all these people and then throw them into. So, like, 6 or 7 or 10 matches down. That's 10 weeks. Have him face somebody where there are stakes. You already got this guy. He comes into the Royal Rumble. He gets he gets a victory, but he doesn't get a devastating victory. Not like this. A code breaker, a fucking 2 knees to the face, and a 3 count. This guy, he won his first match on a roll-up against Chris Jericho. Just Chris Jericho fucking wins strongly versus AJ Styles barely squeaking out with the win. Right? Do you think that's fair? Do anyone listening, do you think that's actually fair? So you're going to do even Stevens bookings, but more the leverage is going more towards Y2J, a guy who's been in your company. He doesn't necessarily need the rub. I'm not saying that he needed to fucking lose either. I'm just saying he could have got a roll up. Roll up, right? The match itself is as amazing as it was. It could have been shorter. They could have scaled it down and saved some for the fucking pay-per-view. I wouldn't mind that at all, man. An 8-minute match that ends in a fucking roll-up. Maybe a distraction roll-up. I don't care. This is a dream match. And dream matches like this, matchups, a dream matchup, these dream matchups end in a blaze of glory. Whether it's Fastlane, whether it's fucking WrestleMania. You're going to have this motherfucking bow out like a bitch to a code breaker, where his match against Jericho, his win was barely him squeaking through. It's things like this that make you wonder. It's like, wait a minute, man. Like, the redneck rookie, shit, that's 2 birds in 1 stone. Redneck rookie, barely squeaking by for a victory. He gets thrown out of the Royal Rumble, even though he got in there. I didn't expect him to win, but just saying. He didn't necessarily have to be in the Royal Rumble. And now he takes 2 knees to the face. And he fucking goes down in flames to a guy who doesn't necessarily need to be presented anywhere like that. He doesn't. So now what? Even Stevens. But, again, the leverage goes to Jericho. Where's the Miz at, right? Because the Miz wants a piece of AJ too. What happens next week on Monday? What happens moving forward to Fastlane? Y'all done blew your fucking load. Even if, let's just say AJ Styles comes out and he drops fucking Jericho with the Styles Clash. It's not over yet. And plus, I'm like, AJ, I guess you're cool. You know? But this is the WWE, man. Say it with me, folks. You watched the show. As of late, anyway. And the fact that no one can get over strong. Nobody. No new stars. No new stars. And it's small shit like this. And you could talk about the Neville thing. Again, to me, that was a house show. But this is on USA Network prime time. If there's 2 million, 3 million people watching, this is a fucking big deal. And as much as we want these people, where the fuck was Kevin Owens? As much as we want these people to like be these big stars, your Kevin Owens, your Rybacks, now your AJ Styles, right? We had to get rid of a fucking star in Daniel Bryan. Now what? We got all these fucking injuries. And no one's been given the fucking green light to fucking become a big star. You're suspending motherfuckers for no reason. No reason. And no one can fucking get over anything now. Like, I was like, oh man, on these fucking injuries, I'm on record to be excited about this new time for the fucking roster, that they can get out there and fucking try to fill in where Randy Orton isn't. Try to fill in what John Cena isn't. To try to fill in what Wade Barrett isn't. And even not necessarily saying that Wade Barrett had a fucking fighting chance to become a star, but god damn it. Your Nevilles, your Tyler Breezes, your Bo Dallases, your Damian Sandows. No one's allowed to get over. You look at Sasha Banks. She's thrown into a fucking faction of black girls because she's black, right? She finally breaks away, and what they do, they fucking get her to another group. Let her stand on her own too. These people can't get over because they don't want them to get over. WWE does not want these people to get over. They want to see the W and W and the E, the whatever, fucking whatever. That's what they want. They don't want you to go see fucking Sasha Banks. Hey, I'm going to the Greensboro Coliseum to go see Sasha fucking Banks. I'm going to go see AJ fucking Styles. Like, no, I'm going to see WWE Live. I'm going to go see WWE Raw. I'm going to go see WWE fucking Smackdown. I'm not showing up to see Ryback. I'm not showing up to see fucking Kalisto or Neville. I'm going up to see WWE brand. And it's sickening. And I know AJ Styles, he got paid really well, and I can't fault him for that. It's just my grief and everyone else's grief. As fans, man, let us get behind somebody. Give somebody some goddamn momentum. Give somebody some fucking steam. Let these people get over organically. Rather than having to force down our goddamn throat like you're doing Dean Ambrose right now. And fucking Roman Reigns. Like we're doing with fucking Bray Wyatt. Yay, whoop-de-doo, he's a star, but like what the fuck? He's nothing but horse meat to these motherfucking other stars. You're John Cena. You're Randy Orton. You're Kane. You're Undertaker. I can't take these son bitches serious. But then you got then you got this loser beating another loser in Ryback. This guy who's striving so hard to become a star. It just blows my mind. And why do I keep watching it? Because goddamn it, I'm a wrestling fan. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. The problem today is the fact that the WWE refuses to have anyone big enough to leave. You look at The Rock. You look what happened to Brock. He came crawling back. But you look at Stone Cold Steve Austin. You look at Shawn Michaels. You look at Diesel. You look at all these guys that left. Shawn Michaels had some more fight in him. He didn't have to walk away from them. He didn't have to fucking give up his career like they did Daniel Bryan, like they did Edge. He didn't have to do that. He just decided he didn't want to do it no more. Your Ric Flairs, your Hulk Hogans. All these people at some point left the company because they were big, bad motherfuckers that drew money outside of the brand. And now all these new stars, all these new WWE stars, they don't have that fucking luxury. Because as soon as it seems like someone's getting over, boom, here's a loss. Boom, here's a burial. Boom, here's a fucking like bullshit storyline. A bullshit gimmick. To make them look like complete fucking idiots. New Day. They're fucking unicorns. Are you serious? I don't care how much you like them. They're fucking unicorns. Do you understand how dumb that is? How fucking stupid that is? These fucking brothers, they're goddamn unicorns. They started off as something cool, something that actually like focused on them being black superstars that couldn't get over. And now they turned into goddamn unicorns. You can't take that shit serious. But I digress. I am 49 minutes into this fucking podcast. And I mean, it's the end of the podcast, but that last 9-minute rant, I guess, will be the way I end this. This was a decent show. The match was great. I hated the ending. And plus, again, this show is looking more and more like WWE Raw. There's no difference between the two setups. There's no difference in how they do their fucking show, other than the fact that one is an hour shorter. All right. So, next week I'll be back at their regular station. So, hit the subscription button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, SoundCloud, add us to your playlist, your favorites. With PJTW Central, you get Peter's Raw Recap, the New Day podcast, which returns this Monday. Peter Talks Sports, which returns next week. Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling. And then you have Peter's Talks Smackdown. And again, I appreciate all my listeners. I appreciate all my viewers. And if you ever want to talk wrestling with me, we could just talk about whatever. There's also Peter Talks Wrestling With. That's how me and Nathan started. But then he was the only one talking wrestling with me, so we just went on and started the New Day podcast. But if you are interested in a good hour, hour and a half of just talking about wrestling, get your background, whatever, be sure to hit me up at PJTW Central, that's Twitter, and Ellen Japanese, LINJAPANESC. And that Ellen Japanese is across the board with all social medias. Well, outside of Facebook, that's Peter Day. But Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, Snapchat, all those things. So yeah, subscribe, follow, hit me up if you want to talk some wrestling. Hit the like button, the thumbs up, or whatever says, hey, we dig it. Leave a comment. Always leave a comment. And share. I always got to figure this shit out. Sharing is caring, guys. Put this on all your fucking social medias. It would be greatly appreciated. Shout out to all the homies. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. There's no more football. So, and again, my Panthers went down in flames. But that's okay, though. We'll be back. Be sure to go to cutthemusic.etsy.com. If you're from Greensboro, I'm wearing this Greensboro shirt, GSO Element shirt. There's also, I still have those Panther shirts available. I also do customized snap code. You see me wear it if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening. Again, go to Cut the Music. If you have a Snapchat, I make custom snap codes you can wear, and people can walk up and add you. And then that's it, man. Outside of that, watch out for those foreign objects. Peace. I will see you next week. Oh, yeah, one more thing. Next, Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling. That's next week. We're also going to review New Japan's New Beginning. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be really, really fun. All right, folks. Peace.